I'm going to be live, Tintin. Well, g'day everybody. So here we are in Punta del Este, and it's the 24th of January. It's now 5 o'clock in the afternoon here, so that puts us, should be about 9 o'clock in the evening on for Europe, France, all the rest of it, 8 o'clock in the UK. And we're back, and I've got something going on. I've got a flu or something. I'm, hot and cold sweats and feel like rubbish and been laying down doing nothing all day pretty much, except for the fact that Georgie turned up this morning. So she arrived about 11:30 with all her stuff. She's now settled into the club, and Jack is arriving tonight. So she settled in. Jane and I settled in here in the apartment. That's the South Atlantic out there. South Atlantic. That's an island out there full of sea lions, bits and pieces and sharks around there. Long way out, you wouldn't have seen that. Anyway, it's good to be here. It was nearly 300 kilos of flight baggage we brought in the plane. Had 9 full suitcases and lots of other rubbish as well. But we're happy to get it here because it was a bit of a nightmare. All of our stuff that we shipped from Cape Town that was supposed to be here now, ready to set up, all our banners, flags, roll-ups, backdrops and everything, just never made it. It's only just arriving in Amsterdam now, long story. So we had nothing. So we had to salvage a lot of stuff from New Zealand and carry it with us, which we did, which is cool. So cost a fortune, but that's fine. These will look like an event. And it's so good to be here in Yacht Club Punta del Este. They're just great people. You got no idea. It's the Spanish influence, super friendly, fantastic club, which we'll show you later on. The clubhouse is their 100th anniversary this year. And that's the official the premier club. That's where they exist. It's just unbelievable place. And then there's another clubhouse called Yacht Club Punta del Este, which is across the road, which has accommodation in it for most of our team, and has like a downstairs, what we call a wet bar. You can go in there and you wet weather gear, but it's just super casual. It's not as sophisticated as the main club, so it's where all the teams and crew and stuff will hang out. You've got a bar there and you get food and bits and pieces. So it's a pretty impressive setup. I was first here in 1990 when I was doing the BOC Challenge, and it was a lot of fun back then. And it's still the same place, two of the people, it's still the same people, and we made some friends there then, and they've all hooked up again. So we're looking forward to being here. From our perspective, even the team, Rob is still yet to come in. Rob Havel out of the UK. Lutz has finishing up at the end of this month. Thanks, Lutz, for the tracker bits that you did in the last 2 days. I see your ratings are a lot better than mine. That was interesting. I run at about sort of anywhere between 1,400 to 2,000. Lutz goes up first time. He's got 3,500. And anyway, but you just don't keep your job, so don't get too excited. I say that with respect. This is a planned shift on our part. Lutz has got more big plans himself, starting the end of this month. That's when he officially finishes up. I've got him very busy doing other bits and pieces for us at the moment, a lot of official stuff and things moving out towards the future. And our workload here decreases dramatically. First of all, the club has been fantastic. They're actually running all the events for us. Our captain's dinner and the welcome party, farewell party, prize giving. They're basically running the whole show, which is great. So we interface with them, but it takes a lot of the workload off. This is going to be a big relief for everyone when they get to Punta, because they've been around Cape Horn, and it's like the last leg is going to be an Atlantic leg, a lot more relaxed. Anything can happen, of course, but they'll be completely psyched up for that. And there will be a bit of a party atmosphere here. Everyone's relaxed. There's not a lot of what I call big boat services like you've got in New Zealand. There's a little boat store and things like that, but it's not a big boating place for getting repairs and major stuff done. So we hope that most of you, touch wood, don't have issues. The nearest travel lift is about 20 miles away. But I think there's only one boat scheduling to come out to do something. And the weather is perfect. This is a trade wind. You can probably hear it blowing in the background. We're on the 3rd floor here, and every day, we've only been here 3 days, I think it is. Every day, starting about 11 o'clock in the morning, the trade winds kick in. Gets really strong during the day. Yesterday, it was pumping through 25 knots. And then by the time the sun goes down, it dies off, and you have these beautiful clear nights with not much wind. And I well remember when I was entering here to finish the BOC, this leg of the BOC, I sat just off the breakwater for, I think it was about 4 or 5 hours with no wind at all. So it's going to be, and it's a similar deal. If someone's arriving after midnight, it's a drifter just around the headlands. The last sort of 6-7 miles can take forever. If you come in the afternoon like this, you're going to come screaming in around the corner, flat stick, wind blowing perfectly, and calm water, and you're straight across the line. So mark my words, that's something to watch as they're coming through. You don't want to arrive at like 3 o'clock in the morning. There's just no wind. And lots of sailing here. They just had a big Rolex regatta, and they've now got a classic regatta, 25 classic yachts, beautiful, timber masts and bits and pieces racing around the Cairns here. And we'll show you some of that later on, but it's a beautiful place. We're happy to be here, and we're looking forward to having a bit of time as well to enjoy the place. And I'll be happy when I get rid of this. New Zealand, quite a few people are coming down with a bad flu. You probably saw that White Shadow was going through their crew. I think it's still on the boat. Marco, our logistics guy, on his way back, he got wiped out completely, picked it up just on the last day. And I'm hoping that this seems a bit milder, but I've been whacked all day. So I'm a bit, if I'm sounding a bit dopey, it's just me. Right. Anyway, so what's happening? The message is coming back. Explorer is flying. They're absolutely distressed that they've moved into racing mode. They said, how did we turn into people like this? They're doing regular 200-mile days, which is great. So they've actually gained a couple hundred miles in the last few days. They're about 180 miles behind Sterna. So they're happy with all that. Everyone else is enjoying the sailing conditions as well at the moment. And then apart from that, I didn't look at all the other tweets. But yeah, everyone's still having a good time. The headwinds were frustrating, but it's all happening. So that's the main thing. Anyway, we'll go straight to the tracker. We've got a functional glitch in the tracker, which some of you may have seen. It's not on the app. But if I was to call up the distance measuring tool now and measure the distance between Explorer and Sterna, once I've got it up there, it stalls. You can't get it off. And it covers the wind forecasting tool. So you got to then switch out of the program and come back in again, set the whole thing up. So I won't be using that now, but we've told Yellowbrick and they're onto it. So hopefully in the next 24 hours, the distance measuring tool will be back. So here's the current situation. Still all really fantastic sailing, fantastic Southern Ocean sailing. You look at it, there's this high pressure system here, but it's still just holding just in front, and it's not creating headwinds because it's, basically giving northeasterlies, and that's fine because generally the cores are dipping down a bit. Everyone's got reasonable sailing conditions, and the speeds are quite respectable. Even back with Explorer, although it's going to change a little bit in the next couple of days. It'll go a bit quiet. So I did measure the distance here with Explorer to Sterna, self-interest, and it's only 185 miles approximately behind Sterna, so they've picked up a couple of 100 miles. And, only 2 days from the main body of the fleet, about 380 or something from the main body. So that's only a couple of days if they're lucky behind. And let's just see how it goes. The other thing, I just did a quick mental calculation based on average speeds to think of where I think Explorer is going to be, into Punta. This is really loose, but I always use, you can always count on a minimum of 1,000 miles a week, and it should be a lot more. So they're 4,600 from the finish, and I would say they should be able to accomplish that easily in 4 weeks. So that puts them in around about the 24th of February. And the restart's 5th of March, so they're going to get, there's a leap year this year. There's 29, so there's 5 and 5, so they're about 10 days. So that's looking reasonable because they'll be tailing Charlie, no doubt. Maybe they'll catch up a bit, but if Explorer gets 10 days, the rest of them are going to get a reasonable time here as well. So picking up from here, Explorer's doing 8.6 at the moment. Yes, that's the latest position at 2000 UTC. And they've done 191 mile day, so they've slowed up a bit, still last in everything, but that's cool. They've been sailing in a northerly breeze, quite good northerlies. Sterna the same, maybe a little bit more northerly, so they've got 8.5, 186 nautical mile day, and 4,400 miles to go, so all pretty cool. Then we're back here with Evrika, 8.6 knots and 183 mile day. So they're all pacing their own. All three boats are basically doing about the same thing. And again, if I look down here, I've got the sun in front. Yeah, they're all pretty much that sort of just east of northerly breeze. The sea state will be pretty respectable. An Outlaw 8.6, 178 mile a day. That's pretty cool. L'Esprit de Creep 7 knots and 157 mile a day. So that's that must have been the centre here pulling away. The reason it now so slow. But 9.2 for Spirit of Helsinki and 194 nautical mile a day. So yep, they're all pretty much the same. And White Shadow 8.4, 172. And we've got Galliano with Secure 8.5 and 195. So they're all really holding their own. It's fantastic to see all this happening, because one of the things when you choose the boat types is to keep the fleet together, and it's absolutely happening right now. They're a tight little group. So Neptune 9.2, but they've only still pulled out 182 mile a day. They're quite a bit south. They've got to come up a little bit to get around that next waypoint over here, but still in a good position, shorter distance down there. And they're on the right side of that high, which is moving away from them, so it's not so relevant. 8.5 for Triana and 183 mile a day. So everyone in there has been pacing themselves. No one getting a breakaway. Maiden 8.9, 170 mile a day. So losing a bit of it. And that's because they've come into the soft patch here with the centre of the high. Translated 9 knots and 179 mile a day. And Penjuic only 188 nautical mile a day, 9.5. So that's amazing. The whole lot is moving as one in the general direction of Cape Horn. So no complaints. And even when we come back here, if we come back and look at what's the Southern Ocean doing right now, again, this is 50 degrees south, which is a pretty healthy distance south. This low pressure system here was very unusual, and then which you've seen, Lutz has described it over the last couple of days, but I was watching it before we got on the plane. So this is nuts, because you don't usually get a high pressure system so low down, or this tight low so high up, and that was what caused those headwinds for them and scattered the fleet a little bit over the last few days. So still some not strange and not really unusual, but maybe not traditional weather issues happening. And overall, if we look at what's going on, there's no real tight lows, what are called tight low pressure system type storms going through. There's some pretty solid breezes there compressing on the coast of South America and around the Horn. That's very common. That'll surely affect, this sort of issue will surely affect the fleet as they get going. But if we are just not looking at their tactical weather at the moment, I'm just looking at overall through the fleet here. I'm going to walk it forward just so pretty quickly for a week or so. Then you can see what's happening. You can see that low directly above them moving across to the west. The high is going to open up. There's a big hole between them there. So day 26, that's within the next 2 days, there's going to be lots of fluffy weather. They'll be along a little bit. And the first one that gets into this southwesterly off the top, they're going to get a breakaway for sure. So depending on, this is where it pays to be down south, because you're going to, as the guys move forward here, if they hook onto that southwesterly and just go west, they're going to have to go up and around it. They're vastly different than someone's fluffing around higher and gets bogged down. They can pull out 200 miles in 1.5 days, 2 days. So this is a transition potentially happening for some boats in the fleet, and it's in the next few days. So an Explorer and Sterner may get left behind because they're still quite high and they'll be hooked up in all of that. So their glamour run might change dramatically. You can see here that southwest gradient sort of holding there, but there's some big holes. There's on 28, 3 days ahead, so they should be over here by then. Once they get there, they'll all be on a roll, but Explorer may miss out on that. They may watch the others sail away very fast. So here we're up into the 29th, so that's nearly 5 days away, and you've got no storms. There's no intense low pressure system if this forecast is correct, and it's all pretty good sailing. If they're down here somewhere, it's all nice sailing. Still no storms. Where are they all? It's just not happening, and this is quite incredible. So there's a bit of a puff coming there, but remembering this is 50, Furious 50's down here, and the fleet should be up there, and it's just showing just great sailing conditions. So keep your fingers crossed, but we'll have to wait and see. Now, if I come down here, yeah, there's a big one forming up there, but that's the 2nd of February. So still quite a distance off. They're about 2,500 miles from the Horn, so that's up to 2 weeks for Explorer. A little bit less, maybe 10 days or so for Penjuic, Translated, Made, stuff like that. There may be 10 days from the Horn. So, all kind of fun. So I'm going to just zip that back and we'll have a look at a blow up of the weather in the next couple of days for the fleet, just so you can see how that's going to look. It's great they're all together. Here we go. So you can see they've all got in the first 24 hours, not too bad. Explorer and Sterner are hooked up in this trough here maybe, and when they get the other side, they're going to have headwinds, so it'll push them down. So either way, they're just going to have slow going. The rest of the fleet here, there looks like it'll be okay. Not fast, but it's okay. They'll all keep moving, but not moving fast at all. So just going to be steady as she goes, with good sailing conditions. They'll enjoy the big full moon and the blue sky and the animals and things like that. So all looking pretty cool. The leaderboard, of course, because they're all bunched together, is very interesting. The distances shouldn't be too many glitches there. So Penjuic is showing line on us, and that's line on us by about 4 hours against Translated 9. So not a lot in it. Anything can grab that. Then Triana is 30 days, so only about 18 hours behind is Triana. This is in line on us, not handicap. This is actually ranked front to back. Neptune is hanging in there. They're down south a bit, so that's pretty good. Maiden's on 5th. Galliano with Secure 6th. White Shadow 7th, and so it goes. So all very impressive. Still Explorer last, Sterner, Evrika, Esprit de Keep. So they're all there. And now go for IRC. Again, there won't be a lot in it, but there'll be some startling results here. Triana is leading on IRC, and they're leading by a full day. That's impressive. So here we are a long way into the Southern Ocean, leg 2. Triana's got a full day break on Translated 9. And then you've got basically just under, 8 hours short of a day. So 16 hours to Galliano with Secure. So Galliano with Secure is really, sort of performing above her pay grade again. It's not too bad. Neptune is right there. Then White Shadow. Penjuic is way down the back here. So they're holding 6th in IRC and something like 4 full days behind Triana and Translated. 4 days, Penjuic, 35.12. So against Translated, 32.20. So 3 days. So they're about 3 days behind Translated. That's going to be hard to catch up, bearing in mind that Translated has a 72-hour time penalty accruing on this leg. So that's the sort of level they want to keep up with. They want to get 2 or 3 days ahead to sort of negate that time penalty and maintain their position overall for the whole fleet. So anyway, all pretty good. Maiden's down there at 35 days, 15. So she's 4 days behind Triana, and 3 days behind Translated. And then we go down to the minor players, Evrika, Outlawed, on Sterner, Bobo. Okay, so that's all pretty good. I'm now going to leave that as is. If I hit this and hit that, I can quickly look at questions. We may be changing the time here for the next updates. We'll see. We may pull it back a little bit to about 5 o'clock in the afternoon Europe time, 4 o'clock in UK. It gives a few more people a chance to look at things as they're happening. That could be a good time slot, so we'll see. So keep an eye out for that. And then if I get into this, okay, so you look sick but loud and clear. Yeah, I feel sick as well. I'm sweating like crazy. I very rarely take drugs, but I took a 1,000 milligram paracetamol a couple of hours ago, and it's all fun. Anyway, go to Christine. I've got to come down here. Jeepers, can't see this very well. Now this is mucking up there. I've got the sun in front of me behind a diffusing curtain, and it's not letting me go down here to grab the bloody thing so I can scroll down and see what's going on. Now I've lost the cursor. There we go. Buenos Vidas, Punta. Yeah, good to be here. Rob, last morning. Commander Paul, seeing and hearing good. Good to arrive and enjoy Punta. Yeah, great place. So, okay, that's it. So I'll be back again tomorrow sometime, maybe anywhere between 5 and 9 French time. And we've got a special press release going out tomorrow, I think. So we'll wait till Jack gets here. Okay, that's all there is. See you later. Thank you.